Hello gamers and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at some games which are on Game Pass. It's a new segment called Game Pass Spotlight, so we'll be taking a look at that. My name is Puppy, welcome to the channel. Hope you like it here. It's going to be a lovely little place at some point, just got to get the ball rolling. Today we're going to be trying out a new segment called Game Pass Spotlight, which I mentioned, in which I'll be showing some new games which are on Game Pass and sharing my opinions on it. Along with you lovely people. The games featured in today's episode are Crosscode, which is an anime style puzzle game with fighting sequences and bosses, and the characters in it are truly lovable. There's some really good puzzles in it and I struggled a little bit. I'm not really used to them kind of games, but I enjoyed it. It was a really good game. I got into it for a good 30-40 minutes and I intend to continue playing it. And another game which we'll be looking at today is called The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. It is kind of a point and click sort of game. I think that's the right word. So it's turn based basically. There's fighting in it and that lot. It seemed more of a strategy kind of game rather than like puzzle, that sort of thing. I enjoyed that less, but that's because it's not my kind of game. That doesn't really suit me as a person. You might find it suits you more as a person potentially. But either way, we're taking a look into both of these amazing games here. I'll be showcasing some gameplay all the way from the beginning of each of these games, so you know what's going on, how it's starting out, whether you can get a feel for the game or not really. Just looking on here at the start of Crosscode, the map sort of has like a beautiful graphic to it. For a game that's so simplistic, the graphic really is quite beautiful. Especially like the colours, the way they've done it. So I'm just looking on at the intro here. It's very simple to get into this game, it's very easy. And there's some dialogue obviously, like you can skip through and stuff, but it's better to read it realistically, to understand what's going on with the dialogue and the story. I was trying to look here to see if there was anything extra, like if there was any extra items I could pick up, but there wasn't. at least not to what I could see. And this is where the story really kicks in now. This is where it gets intense. Like I said, very intense stuff right there. Sort of picturing the feels, so to speak. Got a little cutscene bit coming along here. And there's the main title of the game, nice little intro. Picturing the feels. And this is sort of like, this is going to be a tutorial to the game now. You wake up like, you don't really know what's happened, everything's kind of a mystery. And you just get walked through the basics of how to fight, how to use like, you get like a laser gun sort of thing. You get taught how to use that. You'll see, you'll see. So in this training sequence there are 4 targets you've got to hit. There's no timer, you don't have to do it as quick as possible. I was just trying to get some practice in. It's pretty basic. You hit them with the laser gun until it goes from a red circle to a green tick, and then that means you've done it. And then you get the dialogue sequence to obviously tell you, well done, you've done that, there's more to come, it's going to get harder. I remember here I got stuck, I was like, well, I've done them all, what's going on? And there's one in the corner you don't see, it's very well placed. And then I figured it out and I was like, oh, well that's embarrassing. But you know what they say, things are always in the last place you look. Especially in video games. But yeah, I was stuck on that for a good minute or two, trying to get the angles. Here's one of the characters now. You'll see to the left on the screen. Yeah, this is the only bit I find weird, that your character wakes up and they just can't talk. I think it's meant to be like a trauma thing, or maybe her memory got completely wiped. We don't know yet. I'm going to assume it's trauma, but I could be wrong. I'll have to go further into the story to find out. So yeah, I like that on this game you can do manual saves like this. This is really good. It reminds me of the older Hitman games. You could do manual saves and it wasn't all checkpoint based. But the problem with that is that you have to remember to save. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, you've not got the safety net of, oh, it's going to auto-save, don't worry. But on the other hand, you've got the control of you can save it wherever you want and it will put you back on that spot. So I like that. That's a lot more preferred than an auto-save for me. Now this, I remember being stuck with this. I was like, well, you're meant to hit it or something, surely. But no, it's not that at all. It's quite different, actually. So this is what I mean when I say the puzzles get harder. It's like this. This took me a few minutes to figure out. So have fun in watching me struggle. What I will say is though, what I'm looking back on now and noticing, pay attention to the graphic design on the floor of whatever room you're in. It does sort of give you a hint as to what you're meant to do, which I'm realising now, looking back on the video. So that's definitely something to look out for, and it might help you a little bit. So yeah, I'm absolutely stuck here. I'm just bouncing around like, where am I meant to go? What am I meant to do? Still, I've got no idea at this point. I'm confused. Like, where do I go? It got very tempting a few times to just pause and hit quit game, but I like to kind of persevere and get things done. So I just kind of had to ignore that feeling because I couldn't figure it out, and eventually I did get there. It just took some time. buttons to get an angle, if that makes sense. So I figured out what I've got to do sort of, but just not how to do it. So I guess that's half the journey. Trying to figure out what kind of angle you've got to get is the other half. Like I said, I got pretty stuck here. There's me going back for another hint, just trying to wrap my head around it again. Turns out certain ones of the laser ball things can go through certain coloured walls and other ones can't. Felt like pinball at this point, just trying to figure it out, which it basically was. It was basically pinball. Here's the next stage. So this one was just really, really bizarre because it looks like it's something complicated again, and it's just not. Wait, you don't go there. See? Simple. I remember this one being so backwards. If I remember right, you have to turn your character around and you smash that wall in or something. It's something to do with that. So I'm looking at it from a completely wrong perspective here at the moment. Oh. Yeah, so it was that. See, you had to get to that in order to get to that. So I was right, it was a bit, bit misleading, but that's the idea, isn't it? To figure out what's going on, what they want you to do. Here's another one of them little dialogue scenes. I actually kind of enjoyed these. Some of them were funny. This one was kind of a mixture of like the fighting and that lot, mixed in with the whole laser beams. So it's angles, but trying to kill your opponents using them angles, which I thought was quite interesting to try and do. It's definitely interesting level design, the way they've done this. I would say probably age-wise, this game is probably like an 8+, like on an intelligence scale perhaps, because there are a few bits that are a bit complicated, but it's pretty kid-friendly, I think. It's mainly puzzle-based, so yeah, kids could definitely play this. I haven't seen any reason so far why not. On the other side of it, teenagers and adults will still enjoy this game as well. It is really fun. Here's me making a little quick save. Yeah, so definitely anybody of any age range, as long as it's, 8 and above, can enjoy it. I wouldn't think there'd be problems. Once again, shout out to Xbox Game Pass, because if not for that, wouldn't be able to play this game. They've always got a great selection of stuff on there, and I intend to keep trying out the new games that are on there, making videos about it, helping to inform the community what's good, what they might like, what they might not, that sort of thing. Once again, I got stuck a little bit here because of the angles, trying to figure out what's going to go where, like the angle to hit from, which I did eventually figure out. There we go, I figured it out. I love this bit, your character gets scared for like 3 seconds, like then you get reassured that they're still pretty easy opponents. You get a new ability here, you get the dash ability. It's basically just the ability to dodge, but it's really fun to use, I think. Right, here we go. See, that wasn't too difficult. Managed to get through that. Just seeing if there's any extra bits in the level. There aren't, so I'm proceeding onwards. So this is where you basically unlock melee attacks, or melee, however you say it. So yeah, you just basically go through enemies. It's showing you how to unlock the door right there, using that. That was pretty quick. A couple of seconds, 3 enemies down. More to come. Like I said, the fighting in this game is very basic, but to that same degree it means like younger adults or younger children will be able to pick it up pretty easily. So I wouldn't say it's that difficult. The puzzles are a bit more challenging than the actual fighting sequences. But a game kind of has to be challenging to be enjoyable, so. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but mainly I prefer games that are challenging. This bit's fun. It's a nice little cutscene that's coming up. That was a cutscene, I was on about that was a funny one. See, the level design in this sort of game, it reminds me of like Game Boy Advance days, things like that. We used to play Pokemon. Good times. Just the way it looks. Like obviously the graphics are a bit better, obviously. But the way like the levels are designed and mapped out, it reminds me of that same sort of time. Which isn't a bad thing by any means, really. There's still a lot of puzzle games and games like that what people like. People still play Pokemon to this day, Nintendo Switch, etc. So. I'm just exploring here. The character gets a look over the ship. This is where they explain what's happening to her. They mention about, it's called Crossworlds, that's the name of the world. And they're showing you the little island. Characters eagerly excited for being able to say the words hi. Just a funny little moment there. So I think this is where I wrapped up on Crosscode, I think. Because that's basically the introduction done to the game. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the end of that. Yeah, so that's the end of that. So that was Crosscode. Obviously, let me know what you think of the game. Let me know whether you liked it, didn't, willing to try it out, that sort of thing. Also ideas, you know, any of the games you want me to take a look at. That's an idea. I'm going to show you now the footage I recorded of the Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance Tactics. We're going to see how that was. Like I said, I didn't enjoy this game as much, because it's not my kind of game, but it definitely had something there to it, which was good. Makes me laugh how the little creature just turns on you, you try and feed it and it's like, no, no. But like I said, it's a turn-based game, so it's It's all figuring out what you got to do, where to move your character to, and what correct moves to do, that sort of thing. And like I said, it's a shame that they're not my kind of games, because like the graphics on the art style of it is good. The level design is really impressive. How sort of gorgeous it looks, like the world, the way they've designed the world, looks really nice, I think. I don't really play them kind of games. I mean, it's not that it's difficult or anything. I do find it pretty easy. I prefer games where you natively sort of move, if that makes sense, rather than it being turn-based. It's kind of like if they was to make like Silent Hill turn-based or something. I don't think so many people would play it because of that. That's just an example. A weird one, but an example. But yeah. It took me a minute to wrap my head around what I had to do here as well. But once I did, like obviously it wasn't that difficult. You move the worm thing there, and then you tell him to attack. Which obviously, you know, I do. Now it literally tells you here what to do basically, so it's a pretty easy tutorial. It runs you through. I remember being so stuck here, not knowing what to do, and it was so basic, it was just stupid. So it's just a dumb moment for me here, not knowing what to do. No, it just turned out, like I said, it was so simple, it was unbelievable. There we go, figured it out. So this is the second level, or the second map, might you want to call it. Like I said, I didn't play through this one for too long because it's not my kind of game, but I thought I'd give it a try. I like how they've shown which one's poisonous here. You've got like one of the spiders is glowing sort of greenish, that's the poison one, and the other ones are normal. So it's a good sort of visual illustration of, you know, what one's most dangerous. So yeah, it's a venom spitter, see it tells you, so it's poison. And that's a hatchling, so it's like a baby spider. So yeah, I like that. That was quite a good move for that spider to know how to go to that top platform there. I was quite surprised about that. That's some good AI. But not good enough because you can still injure it. So that was the second level of that game, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. So that for the moment concludes the Game Pass Spotlight for this week. I plan to do one every week, different games. If there's any games what you're interested in looking at, please put down in the comments. I'll definitely have a look at them. It's always good to try new games, but for now I'm going for the sort of like when they add new games, I'll try them out, I'll play through them, do a little mini walkthrough sort of thing, and then put them up on the channel as a video. Plan to do that weekly. I'll also be doing normal walkthroughs as well for any games what are asked or recommended, things like that. I can do full-length ones. That's absolutely fine. But for now, my name is Puppy. It's been a pleasure spending time with you lot. Have yourselves a lovely day and stay safe.